Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where last episode our schedule kind of got disrupted by the Netfunkin vestige making mistakes. I have no idea why they decided to do what they decided to do, but okay, here we are. So we finished up in Poa, we're heading up to Ulasia next. You can actually get a leader trait here. None of these are useful. Okay, we'll make you be skirmisher too, I guess. So let's hop in over here. This should not be very difficult to get this invasion done. And we are currently bombarding here. Yeah, this is going to be very, very simple indeed. So 538 there, not too bad. And the nasty boobos are currently on their way into Gamma Valorum. We have a lot of fleets heading in here, with the idea being that they are going to bombard these two worlds here. Because these two worlds, they've got quite a lot of garrison power. We are bombarding this. It's just doing very, very slow amounts of damage. Okay, now the question is, we took some ship loss, and how much do we need to get our fleets rebuilt? That's definitely going to delay us some. Our primary lack is going to end up being definitely alloys, so that'll make matters a little simpler. Let's buy in 2,500 right now. I'm going to sell some rare crystals, and some zero, and some volatile motes, and some food, and that'll do for now. Now I'm going to hit the reinforce all button and we'll get some of this going. So that'll be fine. And we are heading on in to get these bombardments underway. So 7315, 5614, that's going to take some time. That's understood. So that's all looking good for now. And the real question here is, what are we going to do about this situation? Well, I do think that we should probably take one of these fleets back over to here. That's an awkward path. So not you, then. Understood. Let's have these guys, because they're the ones that came from here initially. They should be able to just go straight on back and just get this taken care of. Let's get that knocked out real quick. So we're going to go land on Ulasia. These guys are bombarding up here, I think. They really shouldn't be, though. Let's get them moving over to Gamma Valorum and put them over the core for the moment. That'll be good for now. Okay, so we're up over in Ulasia at this point. We should be just about ready to land here. And there's bombardments from allied units happening there. So that looks good for now. Let's move over to Gamma Valorum and bombard Boundary. There we go. And then we're going to land here. I want to head over and get Zeraniks under control at that point. So that's the idea. We're going to come in here. We're going to take out these guys. They do not need to exist anymore. Perfect. And now we're going to bombard right here. And this is going to have to be taken over. We'll do that shortly. There's a lot of bombardment needing to happen at Gamma Valorum, and that's going to take a little bit of time. So we're going to need to work up the devastation levels here and do double damage eventually. But for now, we're high pause menu. For now, we're heading on in. That's looking good. Okay, so we've invaded at Ulasia. This should go quite quickly. Yeah, as expected, this is not going to be a particularly difficult location to attack. Game should not be paused right now. Let's unpause. And let's move this off of normal speed also. I didn't realize that I forgot to do that. Sure. But while we're doing this invasion, let's check through our planetary constructions here. We're up to 2479 pops right now. We may or may not have some planetary constructions to do. Looks like there's a job for Docile. Okay, this was recently settled, it looks like. So that's going to be a gene clinic and a habitation district for now. Izak Prime requiring housing. This is going to be a city district for right now. That'll get our housing flipped around and get us another building slot, which will be convenient. Okay, then we've got Nunkey Prime. We can put in a Habitat Central Control on. We can also upgrade this Mineral Purification Hub as long as we're here. What else do we have going on? Hello, a job on Weir Prime. Okay, so a gene clinic and a habitation district there. That's also a new location. So we'll get that done. Anything else? For the moment, no. But we do have this idle civilian ship here, the Sailing Seabird. And we should send out our colonization bugs here then. Although we're currently lacking consumer goods, and we're net negative in consumer goods, so I'm going to have to buy a few of them here. It's a little unfortunate, but it's understood. So at this point, we're going to need to build quite a number of orbitals here, and we may run out of alloys for this. So that'll be interesting. A major orbital goes here. This is going to be a minor orbital. There we go. And then down over this way, we can do another minor orbital. And then up here would be yet another minor. We can come out over this direction and do still another minor. And then we can do a major here, another minor here, and then a number of minors throughout this asteroid belt. Like I said, there's quite a lot of locations here. So this would be a major here, but we're now short on alloys. I'm going to do a purchase of alloys, although we're going to run out of energy credits soon, so that is understood. We're going to then come down here, build a major orbital, and then come here, build a minor orbital, a major around the star, and then a major here, and a minor here. Okay, so something along the lines of that. That should be everything in the system dealt with. So that's fine for the moment. What's not fine is our energy credits. So we're going to sell some zero, some rare crystals, some volatile motes, some exotic gases, and a bunch of food. Okay, that'll get us back up for now. Now this war is going to be over soon. Very soon. So this is looking fine. We've got these guys heading into Gamma Velorum. We're going to be done in Ulasia very shortly. We can see all of this is fully occupied, so that looks good. I'm going to jump drive these guys to Zranax, and once here, they're going to come in and land on Kilkernel, like this. Okay, so that looks fine. They're going to hop in over there, they're going to land, and then they're going to go up to Gamma Velorum. As soon as they are landing in Zraniax here, we're going to pull these guys to Gamma Velorum. So that will be okay. Yeah, we do have some armor and hull repair, so that's fine. This is happening. Looks good. So we're at 2k alloys right now. We can toss some of those alloys into replenishing our fleets, which we can definitely do. I'm delighted to do so for right now. So we've got a lot of ships coming in here. The Federation is kind of swarming the Netfonkin vestige at this point, so that is absolutely understood. These guys are currently beginning their landing process. I'm going to immediately pull these guys over, and we're going to begin bombardment on probably the core here. Okay, so the core is being invaded. I'm actually surprised about that. Why are they invading this? Honestly, I'm not sure they can take this. Okay, well, we'll keep an eye on that. And then, of course, there's Boundary over here, which is being bombarded. And it's being bombarded fairly quickly. Every day tick is like 5?
Begun.
Yeah, something like that. So that looks good.
Aggressor colony emancipated.
Excellent. So as expected, we got this back under control. That was never a surprise. We're going to move over to Gamma Velorum, and we're going to hop over here. I'm not going to participate, I don't think, in this invasion of the core, although maybe we should. I think this will get flipped to us, though, because we have a claim here. But again, I'm not fully convinced that they will actually win that. But we need to bombard Boundary and let that devastation come on up. That definitely needs to happen. So this is looking fine for now. Eventually these will get invaded, but it should, in theory, be okay. I think. Okay, so in comes another bombardment fleet, and if this is being invaded, that means that all of these should be bombarding Boundary at this time. So we'll get that going, and this is going to be an awful large amount of, an awful lot amount of bombardment happening here. Yeah. So this is down to 4875. We'll let that continue to bombard for now. So that looks good for the moment. I want to check in on our pop count. We're at 2482 at this point. So let's see if there's any additional constructions to be done. It'd be delightful if there were. Although I'd be a little bit surprised, to be honest. Okay. So that is understood. Nothing going on there, really. I'm interested in checking on the price of alloys. It's okay. But I'm going to let it... Price on rare crystals? Mediocre. 0? Mediocre. Volatile motes? Mediocre.
Salvage preserved.
We're going to let all of that price move for a little bit. What do we get from this salvage?
Research complete.
Adaptive strikecraft, adaptive armor hardening? Okay, that's interesting. So we just got living metal here. That means we can now grab living reactive armor, which may be a sizable upgrade for us. We'll see. Let's get that underway. It's going to be a long research. So that's understood. Now, this science ship, it can just kind of go do stuff. There you go. Are you going to go do this survey over here that's bugged? Yes, that's exactly what it's going to do. I don't know why this keeps saying it's unsurveyed. It's not. In fact, this is a claimed system by the Mollernock Starcorp. This is a bug. But whatever. If it thinks it has something to do there, I guess maybe it can keep itself busy for a little while. That seems okay. So let's check in Gamma Valorum here. I want to see how this invasion on the core is going. Okay, they've reinforced this. I'm going to join this then. That's definitely going to succeed, and I want a part of it. So that'll be fine. We're going to go ahead and land on the core. And in the meantime, we're going to be bombarding Boundary, although we've done a lot of damage to Boundary already. That's up to 73% devastation. That's looking really good. So we're going to continue to do that, and our fleet is going to head in and land on the core. So let's open this up, but exit that system so that the frame rate is slightly less terrible. And we're going to hop in here and basically double the amount of them, and we'll have leadership, which they don't have right now. So that's going to be very interesting. I closed that, though. We need to come back in here. There we go. Okay, so we have now brought in our own forces. Our commander is in charge here. Perfect. And we'll see if we start substituting. Okay, there's one of our xenomorphs. But we're going to take far less damage here than we might have. So that's looking good. They have a lot of reserves here. I would not have invaded this at this time, to be honest. This was a terrible idea. Absolutely awful. What type of... This is battle frame armies? Okay. Battle frame armies are pretty decent. How do they compare to a xenomorph army? So, xenomorph armies do 6 to 12. These do slightly less. Less morale damage as well. Collateral damage 200, so it's less collateral damage and slightly higher health. I think they're broadly comparable to xenomorph armies. But they are slightly different, so that's fine. There goes a xenomorph army getting absolutely massacred there. It got disengaged though, so all's good. Okay, we're definitely seeing some of our xenomorphs coming in here, but we're seeing the end of their reserves here, so that's absolutely great. They are focusing this xenomorph army a bit. I wish that they weren't, but whatever. It's fine. So we're going to get this finished eventually. I wonder if this is going to beat the other location. Let's head into Gamma Valorum again. Oh, there's so much here. Okay. There's more coming in all the time. This is down to 3,000. So yeah, we're bombarding faster than we're invading. That's hilarious. I love it. That's really funny, actually. So the next question is, are we going to see the AI invade Boundary anytime soon? But that's definitely going faster. No doubt about that. They should have just let us bombard. We would have taken basically no army loss and done it faster. But whatever. If this is what they want to do, I guess it's fine. Combat frontline of 12 is pretty decent, though. So we're definitely able to make our way through this. Mostly it's not our armies fighting either, and that is ultimately a very, very good thing. I'm surprised they're only at 17% exhaustion right now. Achieve war goals minus 111, minus 100 from unoccupied planets, and minus 50 from unoccupied systems, so they'll accept achieve war goals here. Wild stuff. Do we want to make any additional claims? We theoretically could. So this would cost 120, this would cost 80, this would cost 100. So overall, this is going to cost 300 additional. We have 157 of that. That's interesting. So let's go ahead and research the, I'm thinking, starbase capacity. There we go. And I want to come back in over here, reopen the core, and we'll keep an eye on this. We're just about through their reserves, which means we're going to start hitting their backline very, very soon. They are nowhere near hitting our backline, and as you can see, we've disengaged far less than they have. I don't know if that means that we've had bad rolls on that, and we just haven't disengaged, or if it means that we've taken significantly fewer losses. I think it's probably the latter. Okay, so they're down to their last 2 reserves. Now their last reserve unit.
New frontiers established.
And there's only 1 reserve unit remaining. Morale is broken on nearly all of their forces at this point. So we're taking far less damage, in theory. I mean, most of their units that are in the front line right now are not morale broken, so there's that. But there, they just got an additional reserve. That's interesting. How did they do that? Oh, I guess the combat width went down to 10. Interesting. I didn't know the combat width varied like that. Fascinating. Well, we're hitting their front line here, and we are through their reserves, even with the reduced front line combat width. So that's looking great. And I'm wondering, has anyone decided to invade Boundary yet? Because this is basically bombarded out. The answer is no, but I'm sure they will very soon. I should have split our forces in half, I feel like. Now, this timing became very weird. So we're doing a lot of hitting their backline at this point, which is not ideal. I would greatly prefer to hit their front line. We need to eliminate their morale as quickly as we can so that we take as little damage as possible. Looks like our Federation is... So that is understood. Do we have a second army? I don't think so. I think we grouped all of them together. Yeah. Okay, well, let's just get this finished up for now. We see that they have a fair amount of disengaged armies still, and we're hitting almost exclusively their disengaged armies right now, and we're taking full damage from these 4 armies. So that is definitely not ideal. We would vastly prefer to be hitting these frontline armies so that their morale gets broken, and then we can simply not take as much damage. Then we can hit the backline armies as much as we want at that point. But alas, that's not the way this is going. So let's just wrap up this battle here. Just a little bit of backline routing to do before we take out these units. Excellent. And morale on this unit is broken. That's looking good. Morale is low on this unit. I would love to see this take a couple more hits. Now morale is broken here. Morale is low here. And morale is broken. Fantastic. So we're going to take basically no damage from here on out. That's perfect. Okay, their front line is eliminated, and their back line is also gone as of now. I just paused the game because we need to immediately come in over here and issue an order to... Where are they? Transport fleet. There we go. We need to immediately come in and land on Boundary. There's nothing to resist us there, so we're just going to do that. Instantly. As we can see, this did indeed become occupied by us, and that's fantastic. Okay, so we're landing armies on Boundary. There's nothing to resist us there. We've bombarded it all, so this looks fine. We're about to run out of energy credits, and we do not want to do that. So I'm going to sell some food, I'm going to sell some volatile motes, I'm going to sell some rare crystals, and some zero. That'll keep us afloat for a little while, and I'm also going to tell everyone here, except for our army, to head on up to Gothra. Head home. We're done. So we're out of here. But we still need to get Boundary under control at this time. So eventually this landing will occur. The question is when. There's so many ships here. I have no idea why they thought this was a good idea to declare this war. This was a terrible idea. Perhaps the worst idea I've ever seen. It was really, really bad. So Boundary is going to fall
invasion
instantly.
begun. Aggressor colony emancipated.
There we go. And at this point, yeah, we can see here, they are ready to surrender. So we can achieve war goals, and the question is, do we want to take anything else here? We could absolutely take, say, Beyond Dazat. It would cost us 120 influence. We could also take this and bring them down to a single planet. I'm going to do it. So we're going to issue those claims. I don't know if we'll actually get these because they're not occupied by us. They're occupied by the XT489 assemblers. But we can check here. So Beyond Dazat, yes. We would get it. Beautiful. So if we wanted to make a claim on this, that would cost us 100. Huh. Do we want to just wait that out? We theoretically could. It'd be like 8 months, right? I feel like that would be okay. That wouldn't really cause us any real... And the Nafungan vestige would cease to exist. Never mind. Peace was enforced. Okay. So, we're going to lower the barriers on these barrier worlds. We have no idea what this is, but we're going to lower the barriers on all of them. The best possible outcome indeed. Okay, so a faction has been founded, yes, and we just took all of this over. Now we're at 41 out of 38 star bases. So some of these star bases are going to have to go away. This isn't claimed. That's interesting. I'm going to downgrade this citadel, and we're going to need to do two more? Yeah, 2 more. So that means that we can have one of these 3. I'm going to get rid of this one. And this one, I think. I'm not hugely happy about getting rid of those, but here we are. Okay, so there's that all dealt with. Now we can do the special project to lower these shields. We will need a science ship in orbit to do that. So we can grab, well, that's a construction ship. We can grab one of our science ships that is out over here. Where are you going? You're translating via hyperspace relay to Lem? Ah, I see. You're going down here to do that. Okay, well, this is fine. So this just ended the Astral Rift exploration. So let's come out over here. Instead of doing that, I want you to come up over this direction, and we can research the tree, I suppose. Sure, that'll be fine, and we can work our way through some of this stuff. Now, the crafty cuttlefish is in harmonious repose, and it has something it wants to do. Specifically, it wants to move out over... We already did this, right? Yes, we did. It wants to move in one of these 2 directions. So let's head to Perseus for now, and we're going to want to eventually build a mega structure out here, but we don't have the influence to do it because we just spent our influence on all of this out over here. So that's understood. We're going to have to do something about that. And, of course, our main issue right now is we need to get these guys back to base and built back up. So that's going to be about 30,000 alloys overall, it looked like. Yeah, about 30,000. We've got about 10% of that right now. So let's go ahead and purchase 2,500 more alloys here. That'll get us another good chunk of that. And we'll continue to reinforce these. Excellent. So we'll get a bunch of these ships built, and once they make it back to their station point, this is going to be a much better situation for them. Which they'll make it back pretty quickly once we get to this gateway. This doesn't have, like, hyper relays in it either. I just realized. Okay. So transiting this area is going to be interesting for for sure. Noted. Well, we have some angry people on the core and on Boundary, but that's not surprising. Devastation in both cases is incredibly, incredibly high. And we're going to be purging these pops, I'm pretty sure, right? Actually, we don't have these as undesirables. Okay, noted. So that's good to know, but mostly all we need to do is just wait for the devastation to drop here. That's the primary issue. We could do some work on repairing, like, these here. We don't have the alloys to repair that, or this, or this. So we could definitely acquire additional alloys and get those working. Something along the lines of that. And we should probably also upgrade the system capital complex, which I'm going to have that be the top priority. Okay, and then on Boundary, we're mostly just lacking housing, so nothing too major here. We can repair this Aegis complex for now, and we could put in, like, I don't even know what we'd put in here, to be honest. For now, I think I'm just going to leave it be. So we just maxed out our astral threads. We should definitely gain physics insight and an astral boost. That looks fine. And we've got some more of this that we need to work on. But that war is over, and we can work on recovery from the war and getting back on track to unleashing the big one. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Andy McGar, Dark Horse, Xenocyte, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.